Hey, ladies. All right, this is going to be super quick and to the point. And this is really for the woman who is a chronic dieter. She's tried every diet out there and is just really trying to find what works because although those diets work for a little bit, you lose the weight, but then you gain it back and more. And then you lose it and then you gain it back and more. So I'm going to give you some quick tips of how to avoid that. But also, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your family side or your friends because I hear a lot of women say, my daughter or my family say, "Oh, what diet is mom on now?" Right? I'm not on your diet, mom. I don't want to eat that. So I'm going to give you just a quick tips to help combat that and to help go through that. Okay, so first of all, learning the sustainable approach, although sometimes it can feel slower, is actually the fastest way to results because you can sustain them, right? So you're never going to end up back where you're starting, which is really great. You keep learning or you keep using the tools, but as you use the tools, it creates habits, and so that old lifestyle does go away, which is wonderful. So I'll give you a quick few tips for that. So there are right ways to use macros and there are wrong ways to use macros. So the wrong way to use macros is to use them like a diet. It's not a diet, right? They are a tool to create lasting new habits while you get results, which is awesome. So how are macros used as a diet? If it fits my macros, right? Anything and everything, just throw it in. If it fits, who cares? Not a healthy approach for obvious reasons. Filling your macros with garbage food. Now, there is balance. I was on a call with a beautiful woman who said, I like McDonald's and I want to keep eating it. And she really wants to create a lasting change. And so I said, you know what? It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to change how you approach it. And over time, I 100% believe we would get her out of the habit. But in the beginning, it's not taking everything from your lifestyle and being like, you have to do it this way. You don't. If you love something or really enjoy something like a fast food, is it the healthiest thing? Absolutely not. But again, we're here to fit into your lifestyle while making changes rather than you fitting into something, because typically that doesn't last, right? And so, for example, with this person, instead of saying, okay, it fits my macros, I can eat McDonald's all day long, it's like, but wait, what about the healthy side? And so instead, it's like, okay, maybe choose, that fast food or the foods you really like, depending how much you have it. Because some women, if they're eating it all day, every day, stripping it to one day a week is not realistic for them. Stripping it to one time a day may be more realistic, right? So figure out where you're starting from and then make small changes from there. So I hope this is making sense how I'm approaching this conversation, but basically, still fit in what you like, but focus on moderation. So here is exactly what I'm trying to say. It's not restriction, it's moderation, right? You may feel restricted in a sense because it's something different than you're doing. However, what you're currently doing has gotten you to the point you are now. And so try to avoid that resistance to change, because the change is what's going to change your outcome, right? Which is a healthy and fit lifestyle in a body that you feel comfortable in, lots of energy. You can keep up with your kids, like just feeling better. Okay. So really focus on moderation. So like I said, the wrong way for macros is to just fill it with anything. So here is what I would recommend instead for everybody, whether you're beginning or not, is of course, make sure you have enough protein for you. Personally, for most women, this isn't for everybody, but I personally recommend at least 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram body mass. If you are very, very overweight, I would say, like, again, this is so person specific, but usually maybe over 210 pounds or higher, that number is going to be lower, maybe 1.6 grams, maybe 1.4 grams of protein per kilogram body mass. It really depends on the woman. But if you're still in the 100s, I would say 1.8 is a really good rate. If you're like 100 pounds or 105, you may want to go up to 2 grams protein per kilogram body mass. There's a lot of research that shows going above 2.2, and a lot of research is actually showing going above 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram body mass isn't actually beneficial, which is really wild, right? Because some people say as high protein as possible. It's like, but why? The research is showing us it's not actually giving us benefit. So Anyway, quick tangent there. So the other so make sure you're getting enough protein. And the other thing is your produce, right? How much produce are you eating per day? So I'm sure you guys, a lot of you have heard me say this a lot. For most women, again, I recommend about 450 to 500 grams of vegetables per day and about 250 to 300 grams of fruit per day. The beautiful thing about that is you're getting a lot of micronutrients, right? Vitamins and minerals. So not macronutrients, but micronutrients, all those vitamins and minerals. So really nutrient dense foods, but it's also giving you a lot of fiber. The recommended daily value of fiber is 25 grams. And so by hitting that produce goal, you're typically easily able to hit your fiber goal. Then if you want to fit those playful foods, like for that one, wonderful woman, it was McDonald's. For other women, it's wine, right? For other women, it might be chocolate or whatever it is that you really enjoy. Then you can fit it in, but that way you're taking care of your body first and then having the balance and moderation of the playful food rather than if it fits your macros, it's like, sweet, I can eat 6 cups of chocolate chips today because I have enough fat for the day. It's like, come on, we're here to take care of our body and promote lifelong health, not just get a quick result, whatever. Let's use macros as a tool to learn habits. So that is the right way to use macros, in my opinion, okay, right? But I'm here to help you create really, really healthy and sustainable life and a body. So really focus on habits. Another good way to use macros to focus on habits is your work life. I work with a lot of nurses. You guys are so busy, realtors as well. You're so busy. And so it's like, well, okay, I have these macros, and so I can eat this massive meal at night and it's still hitting my macros. And so I'll hit my goals, right? It's like, in some cases, yes, but in other cases, no. Because if you're eating more than your body can handle or process, what is it going to do with it? It stores it as fat in most cases. And so even though you're hitting your macros in a deficit, you may still be adding fat to your body if you're eating like 1,000-calorie meal because your body's like, I have no need for this. I have no use for this. So I'm going to store it for a later time as body fat, right? So using macros as habits helps to teach you, granted, you have to apply this, right? But it helps teach you how to balance your food out. Okay, I have no time, so how can I possibly get in a meal? Lean Body shakes, you guys. These are my favorite. I love them. 40 grams of protein. You don't have to refrigerate them. I keep them in my car. I put them in my purse, everywhere, because they're tasty, right? I like them, but they're really easy for moms or for whoever else who needs quick grab and go. And then you're getting in a really good amount of protein with no work, right? So I would definitely recommend that. Great. Another way to properly use macros is to use them as a tool for awareness, not a tool for shame. Never. And so for ladies who are going over in macros, don't stop tracking. Keep tracking your macros. Even if you're going way over, keep tracking, and keep tracking. Usually you'll eat less because you're like, wow, I'm really aware of how much I'm going over. But it also helps you understand yourself. For some, it might be that your macros are too low and your body's like, I'm hungry. I need nutrients. Help me. And so by tracking what you're doing, it's not saying, wow, bad job, you didn't hit your macros. It's more so like, okay, what did my last 7 days look like? And then you can reflect back and say, was I stressed? Why did I feel that way? And so it brings us a lot of knowledge about what we're doing to then create a realistic action plan for you specifically to be able to go forth and be successful. Cool. I hope that helps, ladies. Now, one more piece here. Going back to the chronic dieter who is just really struggling, right, to find what works. And like I said in the beginning of the video, sometimes family members or friends can say, what diet are you on now? Oh, I'm so tired. I'm not on your diet, Mom. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So how do we combat that? Okay. A few things first that I want to share is someone will break. Don't let it be you. Okay? When you're not dieting and when you're using macros to create a new lifestyle, it takes time. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But if you keep after it, eventually your family and friends are going to see the changes in you mentally, physically, emotionally, in every way. They're going to see your lifestyle start promoting a lot of health. And so it hurts. I know it hurts. I've actually been there, not as the chronic dieter side, but a little bit different way with a family member. It's not fun to go through. Allow it to create, my kitty's like on my desk, hello. Allow it to create resiliency within you rather than letting it hurt you and bring you down, okay? Easier said than done. But some tools to help with that is, why are you doing it? What will being super healthy bring to your life? More confidence? Cool. But what will that do? Well, I can show up at work differently, which would probably cause me to perform better, which would probably cause me to get a promotion, which would increase my quality of life. I'd feel more successful in my career. You get what I'm saying? Another one is I would feel better in my skin. Being healthy would help me feel better in my skin. Well, what would that do? Well, I guess I would probably feel more comfortable being intimate with my husband or my significant other. Well, what would that do? I guess it would improve the connection and it would improve my marriage. Well, what would that do? You get what I'm saying? So really, really dig deep, journal it out, think it out, talk it out. What will it do for you? Why would you take the effort to go to the gym when you have a ton of work to do and you're exhausted? Why would you take the time and effort to track your macros when you're starving? We need to help you plan better, right? But B, just really ask yourself, like, why am I going to practice this self-discipline when I just don't feel like it? Having that reason of why you're doing it and really what it's bringing to your life will help so much, because then you'll know, by not doing those things, what is it costing me, right? By not focusing on proper nutrition and not focusing on healthy habits, what is it costing me? It's costing me energy. It's costing me time with my kids because I'm exhausted and irritated. It's costing me a happy marriage because now there's issues in my marriage because my husband's needs aren't being taken care of and I'm too tired to deal with that right now, right? It's costing mental energy. It's costing emotional energy. So when we really start to reframe and think about what it's giving you and what it's costing you by not doing it, it becomes a no-brainer, and it becomes like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to train. I'm excited to hit my macros today because you have so much clarity. It's a lot more clarity. And then two, if your family members say, why are you even doing that right now? You can say, that's such a good question. Instead of feeling hurt, granted, easier said than done, you can say, that's a great question. It's because I'm so dedicated to creating generational health in my family. And I've made mistakes in the past, and I've tried diets that weren't the best and that didn't work for me, but I was doing my best because I didn't know. And because the internet and all these people told me that that would work for me, and I believed it. And so I did my best and it didn't work. That's not your fault. You're trying, right? And that's amazing. You're trying. And so just keep getting back up. Just keep getting back up and just keep focusing. My daughter or whoever isn't going to grow up with a mama who's always dieting. I'm going to put in the work mentally, physically, emotionally, personally to create a healthy example for my children and for my husband, no matter how much crap they give me, because someone will break. Don't let it be you. Lead by example. Let them talk their crap. They will come around if you just keep going. They really, really will. It's worth it, ladies. I've been on both sides. It's so worth it. I can tell you that time and time again, but you have to experience it for yourself. Cool. That's all I have for you today. I hope that brought you a lot of value. I hope that gave you some courage from the inside out for those who are really struggling to either stay on track or just find what works for them. There's no one size fits all ever. And that's the beautiful thing about macros, is it's so laser specific to one individual, not necessarily with calculators. Those are generated for the masses. They'll give you a fabulous baseline, but it's not exact, right? Because it's a calculator. It's not a human. You get what I'm saying? So just keep going. You can totally do this. If you have tips or tricks of what's worked for you, any experiences in the past or anything you want to share, please share, because we're in it together. We're here to encourage each other, uplift each other. I'm here to educate you with the highest possible education possible, and just get you on the right track. No more diets, no more body struggle. Let's just end it and live healthy and fit for the rest of our life with ease in a way that's realistic. Okay, ladies, have a fabulous day. Hopefully it's sunny where you are. It's pouring down rain in the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, have a great day. Thank you for being here.